Now next we are going to discuss is the larynx. The larynx lies in the anterior midline of the neck. It extends from root of the tongue to the trachea. So you can clearly see extension is from root of trunk to the trachea. In the adult males, it lies in the front of C3 to C6 cervical vertebra. But in children and in adult female, it lies at a little higher level, that is C1 to C4 level. So you have to remember C3 to C6 cervical vertebra in the case of adult males. Now the length of larynx is 44 mm in the males and 36 mm in the females. Now the larynx is made up of skeletal framework of cartilages. The cartilages are connected by joints, ligaments, membranes, and are moved by number of muscles. So larynx contains 9 cartilages, out of which 3 are unpaired and 3 are paired. The pair cartilages are thyroid cartilage, cricoid cartilage, epiglottis, whereas paired cartilage are retinoid, corniculate, and cuneiform. Now remember, thyroid is derived from Greek word and it means shield-like, and cricoid means ring-like, whereas epiglottis is a leaf-like part. Now the first is the thyroid cartilage. Let us discuss the feature of thyroid cartilage. Now this structure shown represents the thyroid cartilage. Its cartilage is V-shaped in cross section. So you can clearly see this is V-shape in cross section. So it consists of right laminae and the left laminae. So each laminae is quadrilateral. The laminae are placed obliquely relative to the midline. So they are placed obliquely relative to the midline. Their posterior borders are far apart, but the anterior border approaches each other at angle of 90 degree in the males and about 120 degree in the female. Now the lower part of anterior border of left and right lamina fuse and forms a median projection known as laryngeal prominence. So this number 1 represents the laryngeal prominence. Now there are superior and inferior cornu. The superior cornu is connected with the greater cornu of the hyoid bone by this lateral thyroid ligament. So this is the lateral thyroid ligament. It connects the greater cornu of the hyoid bone. Whereas the inferior cornu articulates with the cricoid cartilage. So this lower one is the cricoid cartilage and this inferior cornu articulates with cricoid cartilage to form cricothyroid joint. So this is cricothyroid joint. Now let us discuss the various attachments to the thyroid cartilage. This is the vocal cords you can see on both the sides. This is the left vocal cord, this is the right vocal cord. Other is the vestibular fold. This is the left vestibular fold and this is the right vestibular fold. Another is the you can see is median thyroepiglottic ligament. Median thyroepiglottic ligament. So this is the median thyroepiglottic ligament that are present on the inner aspect. So other is thyroepiglottic muscle that are present on the both side. So you can see this thyroepiglottic muscle present on the both side. Here in this figure you can see the curved epiglottis above and the bulges of arytenoid below. The triangular gap that is present between the vocal cord is glottis. Above into the side of two vocal cords there are false vocal cords. And this is the esophagus that you can see. Some landmarks may be difficult to see during the difficulty. Now next comes the cricoid cartilage. This cartilage is shaped like a ring. So you can clearly see this outline showing the ring. And it is a complete cartilage. So it encircles the larynx below the thyroid cartilage. Now remember, the ring has a narrow anterior part that is known as the arch. So this is the arch and the broad posterior part. This is the posterior part called as the lamina. So this part is broad. The lamina projects upward behind the thyroid cartilage and it articulates superiorly with the arytenoid cartilage. So these are the arytenoid cartilage and hence it articulates. Now moving to the MCQ. The first MCQ is, in larynx the only cartilage making the complete ring is? The answer is cricoid cartilage. Now remember, the cricoid cartilage is shaped like a ring and it is a complete cartilage. So it encircles the larynx below the thyroid cartilage and forms the foundation stone of the larynx. Another question, cartilage pair in the larynx is? Now we discussed that the larynx contains 9 cartilage, 3 are unpaired and 3 are paired. So the paired cartilage are arytenoid, corniculate and cuneiform. So your answer will be arytenoid. Whereas thyroid, cricoid, epiglottis are unpaired cartilage. Which laryngeal cartilage is above the glottis? Now the answer is epiglottis. Epi means above and glottis. So your answer will be epiglottis. All of the following are laryngeal cartilage except. The answer is hyoid bone. We discussed there are 9 cartilage, 3 are paired, 3 are unpaired. So your answer will be hyoid. Larynx extends from C3 to C6 cartilage. And length of larynx we discussed was 44 mm in males and 36 mm in females. And also we discussed that in children and in adult females it lies at a higher level, that is C1 to C4. So if the question was larynx extends in children from, the answer would be C1 to C4. Otherwise you have to mark C3 to C6. The space between the vocal cord is known as rima glottis. Now remember, within the cavity of larynx there are 2 folds of mucous membrane on each side. The upper fold is vestibular fold and the lower is the vocal fold. The space between the left and right vestibular fold is the rima vestibuli, whereas the space between vocal fold is the rima glottis. So your answer will be rima glottis. Now let us discuss the laryngeal ligaments and the membrane. So they can be extrinsic or intrinsic. The first comes the extrinsic. Now they can be thyroid membrane. The first is thyroid membrane. The thyroid membrane itself represents 2 names, thyroid and hyoid bone. So it connects the thyroid cartilage to the hyoid bone. So remember, the membrane is passed by internal laryngeal nerve and by superior laryngeal vessels. Next comes the hyoepiglottic ligament. So it connects the hyoid bone to the epiglottis cartilage. And second is cricotracheal ligament. So it will connect the cricoid cartilage to the trachea. So this is the cricotracheal ligament. Now next we are going to discuss is the intrinsic ligament. So the intrinsic ligaments are part of broad sheet of fibroelastic tissue known as fibroelastic membranes of the larynx. So this membrane is placed outside the mucous membrane. So the part of membrane above the sinus is known as quadrate membrane and part below the sinus is known as conus elasticus. So this quadrate membrane extends from arytenoid cartilage to the epiglottis. It has lower free border, that is vestibular fold, and upper border which forms the aryepiglottic fold. So this is the vestibular fold and this is the aryepiglottic fold. Now the part below the sinus we discussed was conus elasticus. So the conus elasticus extends upward and medially from arch of cricoid cartilage. The anterior part is thick and known as cricothyroid ligament. The upper free border of conus elasticus forms the vocal cord. So now the laryngeal cavity above the vestibule is supraglottic part. Between the vestibule and the vocal fold is known as glottic part or sinus or ventricle, and below the vestibule is the infraglottic part. Now larynx has word X in it, so it is supplied by the 10th vagus nerve. And the easy mnemonic to remember the nerve supply is SCAR. That means that cricothyroid muscle is supplied by laryngeal nerve, whereas all other muscles are supplied by recurrent laryngeal nerve. Now moving to the sensory nerve supply, below the vocal cord it is supplied by recurrent laryngeal nerve, and whereas above the vocal cord it is supplied by internal laryngeal nerve, that is branch of superior laryngeal nerve. So mnemonic is BEAR. So below the vocal cord it is BEER. So below the vocal cord it is recurrent laryngeal. So that is the mnemonic you can remember for it. Now the muscle of larynx can be divided into two groups. One is external muscles and other is internal muscles. The external muscles act to elevate or depress the larynx during swallowing. Now what will these extrinsic muscles do? They will act to move the larynx superiorly and inferiorly. So they are comprised of, they are suprahyoid or infrahyoid muscles. The suprahyoid and infrahyoid are attached to the hyoid bone. So this in turn is bound to larynx by strong ligaments, so that allows the whole of larynx to be moved as single unit. So as a general rule, the suprahyoid muscle and stylopharyngeus will elevate the larynx, whereas infrahyoid muscles will depress the larynx. Now coming to the intrinsic muscles. So the intrinsic laryngeal muscles acts on individual component of the larynx. So they control the shape of rima glottis. What is rima glottis? It is the opening between the vocal fold and the arytenoid cartilage. So they control the shape of rima glottis. They control the lengthening, tensioning of the vocal cord. Now first is the cricothyroid muscle. It will stretch and tense the vocal ligament. So it is important for creating forceful speech. Hence it is named as singer's muscle. So remember, cricothyroid will stretch and tense the vocal ligament. Next is the thyroarytenoid muscle. They act to relax the vocal cord, allowing for a softer voice. So they will relax the vocal cord. Next comes the posterior cricoarytenoid muscle. So remember, they are only the sole abductor of the vocal cord. Thus, the only muscle capable of widening the rima glottis. So they abduct the vocal cords, whereas lateral cricoarytenoid muscle, they are major adductor of the vocal folds. They will narrow the rimoglottis, modulating the tone and volume of the speech. Also, transverse and oblique arytenoids narrows the laryngeal inlet, so they close the posterior portion of the rima glottis, so they adduct the arytenoid cartilage. Now let us revise the things again. Muscle causing elevation of larynx. They will be suprahyoid muscle, they will be thyroid, mylohyoid. Muscle causing depression of larynx, that would be infrahyoid muscles, that would be sternothyroid and sternohyoid muscles. Opening the inlet of larynx, that is thyroepiglottic muscle. Closing the inlet of larynx is aryepiglottic muscle. Muscle only abductor of vocal cord is posterior cricoarytenoid muscle. Adductor of vocal cord is they are lateral cricoarytenoid muscle, transverse and oblique arytenoid muscles. The tensor of vocal cord is cricothyroid, whereas relaxer of the vocal cord is thyroarytenoid and vocalis muscle. Arterial supply and venous drainage up to the vocal folds by the superior laryngeal artery, that is a branch of superior thyroid artery, and the superior laryngeal vein drains into superior thyroid vein. Below the vocal folds by the inferior laryngeal artery, that is a branch of inferior thyroid artery, the inferior laryngeal vein drains into inferior thyroid vein.